Welcome to Hunting with HECS. I'm your host, Mike Slinkard. This week we're diving back into my favorite time of the year, and that is the September elk rut. You know, I've been fortunate enough to take some great bulls over the years, many of which have been shown right here on the show. Over the years I've been blessed to have taken 49 bulls with my bow, but each and every encounter is still just as special as that first one was way back in 1980 when I first started. This week we're hard after them in the area where I learned how to elk hunt, my home state of Eastern Oregon. My son-in-law Ty Swaggart and I spent a lot of time chasing bulls this year using spot and stalk, calling, as well as ground blinds, and we had some incredible close encounters. This is going to be an awesome show, and as always, we'll show it all just like it happened, right here on Hunting with HECS.
Hunting is about getting close. Really close. Get closer than you ever thought was possible.
When you have a cameraman and you setting out in a dirt field like this, you can get away with so much with this HECS on.
You know, I was a skeptic. I'm not a skeptic anymore.
What an animal.
We showcase the science of getting close right here on Hunting with HECS.
Hunting with HECS is brought to you by PSE Archery. Arizona Archery Enterprises, manufacturers of quality archery products. Sonics, undetectable, undeniable. Victory Archery, the carbon arrow experts. Nocturnal lighted Nox, illumination that lasts for 20+ hours. Shinex, fusing night vision and thermal in one affordable optic. Tacticam, share your hunt. Spot Hog, the world's toughest archery products. Avula Safaris, book your hunt. And by HECS Stealth Screen, the evolution of concealment.
Well, it's early September and the rut hasn't fully kicked in yet. The bulls are starting to feel the need to start cruising around and checking those cows. And when this happens, I like to get in those areas that elk are traveling through when they're heading from their feeding to their bedding areas. You know, hunting travel routes gives me the opportunity to try to call bulls into shooting range without blowing them out of their bedding area. And it's a great early season strategy. On this morning, I'm set up in just such an area, and I can hear the main herd talking just off to my left. Well, it's really open timber here, so the elk will be able to see me pretty much wherever I set up. So I popped up a Montana decoy, let out a few cow calls just to see if I could coax a bull away from that main herd. A few minutes later, I spotted an elk approaching through the trees. Well, it turned out to be this nice bull. He's a nice 6x6, a little small, but he was coming right to me. Well, I knew this area had some monster bulls in it, and it's still really early in the season, so it didn't take me long to decide not to take this small bull. But that didn't stop me from playing around with him just to see what we could do. After some calling, he was soon inside easy archery range. This bull hung around for over 10 minutes and gave us quite a show. Then he just calmly left and headed up to the bedding areas for the day. Well, this area usually has a lot of elk, with herds numbering many times up into the hundreds in the early season. But this year was different. You know, I was seeing a few elk and some scattered bunches here and there, but the numbers just weren't here, and I was trying to figure out why. It was about then that I stumbled onto a solid piece of evidence.
Well, we're not the only hunters up here. You can see this all covered up right here. And we can actually see rib cage and deer parts over there. Had a cat come in. We got a cat on our trail camera a while back. But this kill's not that old. Obviously the coyotes have been in it now too. Kind of drug things around, but you can see where he covered it up here. So yeah, we've definitely got lions up here for sure. So makes everything a little bit harder.
You know, big predators can move a lot of elk in a hurry. And with a big cat in the area, I was starting to get a good idea about why the elk numbers were so low. And as it turned out, it wasn't just big cats that I had to worry about.
HECS is excited to offer our first dedicated outerwear system. Our new premium quality outerwear pant, coupled with a HECS hooded shirt with integrated face cover, is the ultimate HECS system for any hunting situation. You can find this system on our website as a pre-built system, or you can customize this system even further using our new build-your-own system option. The hooded shirt comes with an integrated face mask, a convenient front pocket, thumb holes, and is the perfect HECS outerwear piece for these cooler days in the field. It comes in both HECS-style camo patterns as well as a two-tone version. Brand new to the HECS lineup is our outerwear pants. These will be the most comfortable hunting pants you will ever wear, and of course, they have the HECS patented technology woven right in. They feature a super comfortable, action-cut, quiet fabric, ample pocket space, and a zippered leg pocket for your HECS accessories or your cell phone. This is a high-quality pant that replaces the need for an additional HECS layer in order to get the full HECS advantage. They come in both HECS Style Anywhere and HECS Style Green Camo, as well as an olive brown. This is quickly becoming our best-selling system. You can check it out on our website along with other great HECS products and accessories. Don't delay. We expect these systems to sell out fast. We'll be back with some screaming bulls right after this. Welcome back to Hunting with HECS. We're chasing bugling bulls this week in eastern Oregon, and the rut is just starting to kick in. Now, let's get back to the hunt.
My son-in-law Ty was also in camp. Ty had just come back from an antelope hunt here on a great draw unit in Oregon. You know, he saw a lot of good antelope, but the weather was pretty tough with rain and high winds, but he was still able to score on a good goat. But on this morning, Ty and I teamed up to try to call a bull into range. Well, Ty's out front with his bow, and I'm set up behind him doing all the calling. Once again, we were on a travel route, and it wasn't long before we could hear the elk calling just up ahead. Then we spotted the main group moving through the trees up ahead of us. It's got a good herd bull, but he's staying just out of sight, but there are several satellite bulls dogging the edges of the herd. As the group passed by, we spotted a bull trailing that herd. With a couple hot cow calls, I was soon able to turn him towards our position. Well, it turned out to be a nice 5x5, and I was really expecting Ty to drop the hammer on him when he got into range, but instead, he let him keep on walking. You can see this bull look directly at Ty moving, and it simply ignored the movement. That's the HECS advantage we see all the time. You know, I was expecting Ty to shoot this bull, but he was hoping that that bigger bull might show up and decided to pass. Well, the bull finally got downwind of Ty, and that was the end of the encounter. You know, HECS will let you get away with a lot, but if you let them get downwind, it's just like with any other gear, it's usually game over. Well, there was one area that we like to call the park, and it's not hard to tell why when you see it because it's a beautiful place, and as you can probably guess, the elk love it there as well. Well, the problem with the park is that it's hundreds of yards wide, and when the elk come through, it's nearly impossible to get out in front of them and still keep the wind in your favor. So over the years, I've hunted the edge of the park, but never really had much success there. But this year was totally different. We had a lot of late summer rain, and the water hole in the park that's normally dry during hunting season had water in it this year, and the elk were using it heavily. Well, it didn't take me long to decide that we needed a blind there, and at the first good wind, Ty and I were settled in for an evening hunt. We'd only been there about an hour when we saw elk drifting through the trees. Well, they came in on the farthest point away from us, but it's open enough that we could really see what was going on, and I soon had my eyes on a great shooter bull. Well, this is obviously the herd bull. He's chasing cows and running off those smaller bulls nonstop. Well, he's a mainframe 6x6, and I can see extra points here and there. From the best I could tell, he had 7 points on one side and 8 on the other, and that's a shooter bull for me anywhere I go. Just when I was beginning to think they were going to walk past the water hole, they turned and headed our way.
If you're looking for a HECS system, come visit our new website, where you have the option to build your own system from any of the HECS clothing to match your particular hunting style. Or choose from one of our convenient pre-built systems specifically designed to cover you in HECS technology in every season. The original HECS suit is very lightweight, breathable, and versatile enough to be used in almost any hunting situation. The HECS systems consist of 3 pieces. These essential pieces include a HECS pant, HECS top, and HECS head cover. You may use any combination of appropriate HECS products to achieve the goal of covering as much of your body as possible with HECS technology. All HECS hunting products are now available in our new HECS Style Anywhere and HECS Style Green digital camo patterns to match any terrain. The material features a highly electrically conductive carbon grid woven into the polyester base cloth. The grid blocks your body's electrical field. The suit is designed to be worn under your regular camo or over the top as an outer layer. The technology is effective either way. The original pants are cut similar to sweatpants, with an elastic waistband, elastic cuffs on the bottom, side pockets, and a convenient fly. The pullover shirt features thumb holes, serge stitching, and an embroidered logo. The head cover has a hemmed eye hole, adjustable drawstring in the back, and is very easy to use. Additional accessories are sold separately and include the HECS hat, our versatile multi-rag that can be worn in a variety of ways, camo gloves made of a lightweight, stretchy material in matching camo, and a heavyweight over-the-calf sock. And of course, all of the accessories have the HECS grid woven right in. Order right now and use the promo code to save on your order of a complete HECS suit. Visit our website to learn more about our full line of clothing and accessories, as well as our fit guarantee for worry-free ordering. We'll see if this monster bull makes it into the guys right after this quick break. Welcome back to Hunting with HECS. We're hunting Oregon for rutting bulls. And before the break, the guys had a shooter herd bull working towards their location. Now, let's get back to the action.
We're hunting an area we call the park, and there's a really good bull chasing cows just on the other side. My son-in-law Ty and I are setting on the only water source, and after some chasing around, I was hoping that big bull would get thirsty enough to come in for a drink. When it looked like he was finally headed our way, I started to get my hopes up that this might actually work out.
That bull's gonna come to the wall. Get ready.
Unfortunately, there were just too many cows, and his attention was soon diverted away from the water and back to chasing the girls. You know, there wasn't anything we could do but just sit there and watch them go. But even though we didn't get a shot, it was still an awesome evening in the elk woods. You know, we sat the park several more times and had elk inside bow range almost every time. But knowing what caliber of bulls that were in the area, we decided to pass on them. One evening, this nice little 5x5 came in and hung out for over an hour with no idea anyone was anywhere around. You know, it was fun having something to occupy the time, but in the end, he got a pass as well. Over the next few days, Ty and I were both well inside bow range of several smaller bulls. Well, as the season progressed, it was more and more obvious that the predators in the area had really put a damper on the elk numbers, and each time we let one walk, we knew we were taking a real chance that we might not fill the freezer. But as they always say, you can't get the big ones if you shoot the little ones, so we pressed on. Well, that big bull that we saw in the park became my only focus, and we knew there were several other good 6 points as well, so we kept our fingers crossed that we might connect with a bigger bull as the season progressed.
If you're looking for a HECS system, come visit our new website, where you have the option to build your own system from any of the HECS clothing to match your particular hunting style. or choose from one of our convenient pre-built systems specifically designed to cover you in HECS technology in every season. Our most popular HECS system is our base layer. The base layer is a lightweight semi-thermal material designed to be worn under your regular hunting clothing or over the top. It comes in the original olive green, as well as our new HECS Style Anywhere and HECS Style Green digital camo patterns to match any terrain. The material features a highly electrically conductive carbon grid woven into the polyester-based cloth. The grid blocks your body's electrical field. The suit is designed to be worn under your regular camo or over the top as an outer layer. The technology is effective either way. All complete HECS systems include 3 pieces. These essential pieces include a HECS pant, HECS top, and HECS head cover. You may use any combination of appropriate HECS products to achieve the goal of covering as much of your body as possible with HECS technology. The shirt is a quarter zip Henley with rugged serge stitching, embroidered HECS logo, and thumb holes. The form-fitting pants have rugged serge stitching throughout, and the heavy elastic waistband and cuff ensure they stay in place. They also feature a convenient fly. The head cover has a hemmed eye hole, adjustable drawstring in the back, and is very easy to use. Additional accessories are sold separately and include the HECS hat, our versatile multi-rag that can be worn in a variety of ways, camo gloves made of a lightweight, stretchy material in matching camo, and a heavyweight over-the-calf sock. And of course, all of the accessories have the HECS grid woven right in. Order right now and use the promo code to save on your order of a complete HECS suit. Visit our website to learn more about our full line of clothing and accessories, as well as our fit guarantee for worry-free ordering. We'll find out if Mike is eating tag soup this winter, right after this. Welcome back to Hunting with HECS. Mike and the family have been pursuing rutting bulls this week and have had several close calls. But as always happens, the days have ticked away, and the end is coming fast. Now, let's catch up to host Mike Slinkard and see what's next.
We're still chasing elk in eastern Oregon, and even though the elk numbers are down, Ty and I had passed several good bulls, hoping for a crack at one of the mature bulls that we've been seeing. With only a couple days left in the season, reality starts to set in, and you have to accept the fact that it might not happen. You know, Ty counts on that elk meat in the freezer, and he decided that he'd burned through enough season chasing those big bulls, and he told me he was going to take the next elk that gave him a shot. And the next elk turned out to be a young cow. It's hard to imagine a better eating elk steak than a young cow, and when the shot presented itself, Ty notched his tag. Well, I'm still holding out, but I'm down to the final days of the season. Fortunately, the wind was right for my favorite spot. It was a spot I call the Big Wallow. I'd had a close call earlier in the season when a nice bull rolled in just before dark. He stayed just out of bow range and wallowed in a spot off to my left. When he was done, he skirted the water out in front of the blind and headed out to the feeding area without presenting a shot. Well, I was hoping for better luck tonight, and not long into the sit, I heard an elk coming in from the left. Turned out to be a solid 6x6. This time of year, the bulls are always traveling and looking for cows, and it became obvious that that was exactly what was on this bull's mind when he just came far enough to look over into the water for cows. When he didn't see any, and he heard a bugle sounding off behind him in the timber, he turned and headed back that way. Just when I was beginning to think the rest of the night was going to be a bust, I saw a bull coming in from the right. You know, it's not one of those big ones that I've been chasing all season, but with the season about finished, I decided I'd better take him if I could. Well, he's in range and he's totally preoccupied with wallowing, giving me plenty of time to get ready. My problem is that he's on the extreme right side of my shooting lane, so I have to get down on my knees to shoot. Well, I finally got into position and he turned broadside enough to get an arrow into the vitals. I settled my pin and touched off the shot. Well, as soon as I released, I knew I'd messed up. The arrow made a loud sound and wobbled wildly off to the side, sending the bull running for the hills. You know, that just shows that even us old-timers make rookie mistakes sometimes, and that's exactly what I did. When I dropped to my knees, I failed to realize that the bottom of the blind was now directly in front of my broadhead. When the arrow hit that blind, it abruptly ended my chances at that bull.
Oh, I can't believe it. That bull came in from the wrong way. Started out pretty good, but we had that nice 6-point come in behind us. Then a little later, we had that nice 5x6 come in. I decided to try to take him, but he came in from the wrong way. I'm not set up to shoot that way, so I had to get down on my knees and try to shoot, and yeah, it just hit the blind. Oh, I tell you what, sometimes you can't catch a break, but it's fun anyway.
Well, I ended up not tagging a bull in Oregon, but it wasn't because I didn't have opportunities. You know, having taken as many elk as I have, I now enjoy the challenge of targeting the oldest, most worried bulls in the area. This, of course, comes with a price, and this year I paid it. But it was still an awesome season, and I had a great time being out there in God's creation. We have a new sponsor called HECS. You know, the HECS product line has some amazing new features that are completely rewriting the book on affordable night hunting optics. We're able to offer the HECS product line directly to our customers through our sister company, NICS Hunting. Through the nixhunting.com website, we can offer you the best prices available with free shipping, as well as some special incentives that no one else can offer. So log on to nixhunting.com, that's NYX hunting.com, and learn more about this amazing technology. You know, as much as I love elk hunting with a bow, it can also be frustrating. But that's what makes it the addiction that it is. You know, just getting close to these incredible animals is a thrill in itself, and you don't always have to take one home to be satisfied with the experience. You know, as we've seen over the last 14 years, HECS patented technology continues to help us to have more and multiple opportunities close up and personal. Quite simply, HECS will make you be a more effective hunter and add more enjoyment to your hunting experiences. You know, it's super easy too. Just go online or give us a call and get your own HECS system on the way. And soon you too will be seeing the HECS difference for yourself. Also, make sure to like HECS Hunting on Facebook and Instagram, and don't forget to subscribe to the HECS Stealth Screen channel on YouTube. There you can see our older episodes, as well as hundreds of videos from customers showing the HECS advantage in real-world hunting situations. In the meantime, we'll keep pushing the limits and bringing it to you each week right here on Hunting with HECS.
If you have an amazing HECS encounter you'd like to share, give us a call or go online. You can find out more on our website. While you're online, make sure to take a minute and check us out on our social media sites as well.